In Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, Pikachu and Eevee are the starters given to you, the one you get depending on which version you choose. Although both Pokemon are super cute, they are very different in terms of type matchups and contribution to the team's chemistry, therefore creating a reasonable assumption that the strongest teams revolving around them are different. In line with this, I made two different videos for the strongest teams of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. The first video covered the strongest team for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, so now we shall focus on the strongest team for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. The strongest team for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee defeated all the mandatory trainers in the game with an average level of around 46. Their rivals team has an average level of around 56, which makes for an average level gap of around 10 levels. The only experience points this team gained were from the mandatory trainers in the game and the 50 Pokemon we are required to catch in order to challenge Koga's gym. For those of you who don't know, in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, the main way to grind your Pokemon's levels is by catching wild Pokemon, not battling them, because well, you can't battle them, save for a few exceptions. Each wild Pokemon you catch provides experience points to your team. Drop your favorite Pokemon Let's Go Eevee team in the comments section below. I am DFuego, and this is the strongest team for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. In crafting a team that is to be given the title of strongest, it is essential to identify those obstacles that require a specific strategy to defeat, and know what that strategy is. If you are unable to do this, you are doomed to create a team that cannot overcome certain obstacles in the game without extra grinding, and such a team cannot be called the strongest. The members picked for the team are those which enable the team to execute all the strategies needed to overcome the mandatory trainers in the game. That being said, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee makes us use Eevee as our starter, whether or not she is optimized to take down the obstacles in this game. Therefore, we need to understand what obstacles Eevee helps to overcome so that the members we pick account for the areas where Eevee isn't useful. Eevee serves the role of a utility Pokemon. Her typing of normal provides no type advantages against any of the obstacles in the game, and her stats do not allow her to pose a neutral threat to those Pokemon. The way she helps the team is by lowering a strong Pokemon's accuracy with the move Sand Attack so that another team member can safely switch in and take out that Pokemon. Also, she can use a move with a type advantage against strong Pokemon. She won't defeat that Pokemon, but she will weaken that Pokemon and put it in a position to be defeated by another one of our Mons. A good example of this is Elite Four Lance's Aerodactyl, who posed enough of a threat against our Let's Go Pikachu team to merit its own member. Eevee can take a hit from Aerodactyl and use the move Buzzy Buzz to deal super effective damage and potentially paralyze Aerodactyl. And then a Pokemon with a type advantage against Aerodactyl can come in and finish him off. Eevee is more difficult to use than Pikachu, but she can perform well when used properly. Now, let's build a team of 5 members to defeat all the obstacles in the game. The first obstacle is Brock's Rock-type gym. It's worth noting that Eevee gets access to the move Double Kick at level 10, but Geodude and Onix both have high physical defense, making it so that Eevee needs multiple turns to take them down. It's doable to beat them, but it's really a pain to do so. It is easier to defeat this gym by using a Pokemon that has a 4x super effective move against Brock's Pokemon. A perusal of the options available before this gym indicates that the grass typing is best suited for this role. There are 2 grass Pokemon available before this gym, which are Venusaur and Victreebel. Both have the same typing of grass and poison, so they take down the same obstacles where they have a type advantage. However, Venusaur has access to a move that Victreebel cannot use. That move is Leech Seed. Leech Seed works well with a different member of this team to take down other obstacles in this game, which is in addition to the obstacles that the dual typing of poison and grass overcomes. Victreebel cannot defeat these Pokemon because it does not learn Leech Seed. I'll elaborate on the other member of the team and the specific Pokemon that lose to her combined force with Venusaur's Leech Seed later in the video. Venusaur is the best Pokemon to defeat Brock's gym. I discovered in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that after you defeat Misty's gym, you can skip battling the rest of the gyms and obtain Pokemon for later points in the game because HMs are replaced by secret techniques, which do not require gym badges to be unlocked. Because of this, there are a lot more options to take down every obstacle from Lieutenant Surge to the champion rival. However, there is a catch to opting for later Pokemon in this game. In order to obtain all of the secret techniques, you have to battle Team Rocket in Celadon City to unlock access to Fuchsia City, where the Sea Skim technique, which is the secret technique equivalent to Surf, is located. The Sea Skim technique is important to obtain a later Pokemon that is part of our team. Anyway, Jessie and James have a fully evolved Arbok and Weezing that have powerful stab moves, which will deal a lot of damage to your team that is not yet fully evolved. Rocket Admin Arch's Weezing also has access to powerful coverage moves, so he cannot battle him with just any mon. That makes Team Rocket the next obstacle to overcome. We have to pick a mon that has a type advantage against poison types. The best typing to do this is Ground, because it has both an offensive and defensive advantage against poison types. By the way, in case you are wondering why I am recommending using a ground type against Weezing, who has the Levitate ability, it's because in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, there are no abilities, meaning unlike in other games, Weezing does not have the Levitate ability to avoid ground type moves. Anyway, the ground types available in this game are Sandslash, Nidoqueen, Nidoking, Dugtrio, Graveler, Onix, Marowak, and Rhydon. We can eliminate Dugtrio, Graveler, Onix, and Marowak from contention since their stats are subpar. Nidoking is a better version of Nidoqueen due to having a superior attack stat, the defining stat of both Pokemon. That leaves us with Sandslash, Nidoking, and Rhydon. Let's compare their impact against later obstacles in this game. Sandslash takes down Lieutenant Surge's Electric Gym, Koga's Weezing and Muk, Blaine's Rapidash, Giovanni's Nidoqueen and Nidoking, Elite Four Bruno's Onix, Elite Four Agatha's Arbok, and Champion Rivals Rapidash and Raichu. Nidoking overcomes Lieutenant Surge's Gym, Koga's Weezing and Muk, one of Blaine's Fire types, Elite Four Agatha's Arbok, and perhaps one more of Elite Four Agatha's Pokemon, and Champion Rivals Rapidash, Vileplume because of the move Ice Punch, and Raichu. Rhydon overcomes Lieutenant Surge's Gym, Koga's Gym, Blaine's Rapidash, Elite Four Agatha's Arbok and Golbat, Elite Four Lance's Charizard, and Champion Rivals Rapidash and Raichu. When working with other team members, he can also take down Elite Four Lance's Dragonite and Champion Rivals Mega Pidgeot. Sandslash contributes to defeating 12 obstacles in the game, Nidoking contributes 11, and Rhydon contributes 15. Rhydon is the best Pokemon to defeat Team Rocket. The next obstacle is Erika's Grass and, mostly, Poison Gym. This dual typing is weak to Fire, Flying, Ice, and Psychic Pokemon. We have to compare each type's viability against later obstacles in this game to narrow down the best Pokemon to pick. Fire types are strong against Koga's Venomoth, Sabrina's Jinx, Elite Four Lorelei's Jinx, and Champion Rivals Vileplume. Flying types are strong against Koga's Venomoth, Elite Four Bruno's Poliwrath, and Champion Rivals Vileplume. Ice types are strong against Koga's Golbat, Giovanni's Dugtrio, Nidoqueen, and Nidoking, Elite Four Agatha's Golbat, Elite Four Lance's Dragonite, and Champion Rivals Vileplume. Psychic types are strong against Koga's Gym, Giovanni's Nidoqueen and Nidoking, Bruno's Fighting types, and Champion Rivals Vileplume. The Psychic type is the best type to defeat Erika's Gym. The Psychic types available in this game are Alakazam, Slowbro, Hypno, Exeggutor, Starmie, Mr. Mime, and Jinx. Exeggutor's secondary Grass typing makes him weak to Erika's and Koga's Gym, gyms that are normally weak to Psychic types. Alakazam and Hypno are exclusively Psychic types, so we can eliminate them from contention because the secondary types of the other Pokemon contribute to defeating other obstacles in addition to the ones covered by the Psychic type. The Water type of Slowbro and Starmie can defeat some of Blaine's Fire types, Giovanni's Dugtrio and Rhydon, as well as Nidoking and Nidoqueen when properly set up, Elite Four Bruno's Onix, Elite Four Lance's Aerodactyl and Charizard, and Champion Rivals Marowak and Rapidash. Mr. Mime's Fairy type overcomes Elite Four Bruno's Fighting types, although the Psychic type already takes care of these Pokemon, and Elite Four Lance's Dragonite. Jinx's Ice type overcomes Giovanni's Dugtrio and Champion Rivals Vileplume, which is already weak to the Psychic type. The Water type is the best secondary type to accompany the Psychic type, which means we have to pick between Slowbro and Starmie. Both of them have good stats and access to the moves Psychic, Surf, and Ice Beam. However, Starmie has access to Thunderbolt, while Slowbro does not. This move makes Starmie useful against Sabrina's Slowbro, Elite Four Lorelei's Dugong, Cloyster, Slowbro, and Lapras, and Elite Four Lance's Seadra and Gyarados, none of which Slowbro can overcome. Therefore, Starmie is the best Pokemon to overcome Erika's Gym. After this is Sabrina's Psychic Gym. The types that are super effective against Psychic are Dark, Ghost, and Bug. Outside of Sabrina, Dark types are strong against Elite Four Lorelei's Slowbro and Jinx, Elite Four Agatha's Gengars, and Champion Rivals Slowbro. Ghost types are also strong against the same Pokemon minus Elite Four Agatha's Gengars because Ghost types are weak to fellow Ghost types, and our Ghost type is underleveled, giving Elite Four Agatha's Gengars a clear advantage. Bug types are only useful against Elite Four Lorelei's Jinx and Champion Rivals Slowbro. The Dark type is the best typing with a type advantage against Sabrina, overcoming 5 obstacles outside of Sabrina. That being said, 5 obstacles is not a lot of obstacles to contribute, so the Dark type still isn't that useful. Luckily, there is another option to take down Sabrina, which is to use a bulky Pokemon that can tank the special attacks of your Pokemon and take them out. There are two Pokemon that carry out this strategy, which are Chansey and Snorlax. Outside of Sabrina, Chansey can take out Elite Four Lureless Jinx, Slowbro and Lapras, Elite Four Lance's Seadra and Charizard, and champion rival Slowbro, all of them being defeated with the Toxic Stall strategy. When working with Venusaur's Leech Seed, she can also take out Elite Four Agatha's Gengars and Weezing. That's a total of 9 obstacles, which is more than the number of obstacles the Dark type has to offer. Snorlax's attack is crippled in this game because he does not have access to the move Belly Drop, which means he cannot maximize his attack. His physical defense is low, which combined with his low speed and unboosted physical attack makes him unreliable for overcoming physical attackers, just like Chansey. In Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, Snorlax's lack of physical defense was compensated for by using a Pokemon with the ability Intimidate. But this cannot be done in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee because there are no abilities in this game. This makes it so neither Chansey nor Snorlax can take down Jinx, who knows Ice Punch, but Starmie can take her down with the move Flash Cannon. We have to compare Snorlax to Chansey in terms of how they fare against special attackers. Chansey has the advantage here because her special defense bulk is already set up and she can immediately go on offense, while Snorlax has to spend a turn or two setting up Amnesia. If the opponent sends in a physical attacker, Snorlax has to be switched out and set up again after the physical attacker is taken down and the opponent sends in another special attacker. This is not to say that such a strategy is impossible to pull off, but it's easier to make mistakes with this approach. With Chansey, all you need to do is inflict poison or have Venusaur use Leech Seed and then watch as your opponent's health slowly but surely whittles away. Snorlax is a viable alternative to Chansey, but in my opinion, Chansey is more deserving of the spot on the team for defeating Sabrina. We have already picked 5 members for the team, but due to being underleveled, the team still struggles against Blaine's Fire types, Giovanni's Nidoking and Nidoqueen, Elite Four Bruno's Fighting types, and champion rivals Mega Pidgeot. We can look at Blaine's Fire types to narrow down the typing that we choose for defeating all the aforementioned Pokemon. Fire is weak to Water, Ground, and Rock types. We can eliminate Ground types from contention because they do not have a defensive advantage against Fire, and Mega Pidgeot is immune to Ground types. Water types lack a defensive advantage against Mega Pidgeot, making them neutrally vulnerable to Mega Pidgeot's Air Slash. Therefore, we have to rely on the Rock type. As I mentioned in my Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Best Team video, Rock types are vulnerable to Giovanni's Ground types, and they are also vulnerable to Elite Four Bruno's Fighting types. However, there is a Pokemon immune to Ground types that also deals good damage to Elite Four Bruno's Fighting types, Aerodactyl. His Flying type makes him immune to Ground types. This Flying type is also useful against Elite Four Bruno's Fighting types because of its offensive type advantage. Elite Four Bruno's Fighting types have coverage moves against Flying type Pokemon, but Aerodactyl outspeeds his Pokemon, can take them out in 2 turns, and is bulky enough to tank 1 hit from their Pokemon. He can work together with Starmie to take out Bruno's Pokemon. Aerodactyl's dual typing of Rock and Flying matches up well against the remaining obstacles in this game, so he is the best 6th member to add to this team. And there you have it, the strongest team for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Let me know in the comment section below which Pokemon you prefer between Pikachu and Eevee. If you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the subscribe button to support my channel. And drop your favorite teams in the comment section below for a chance to be featured in my ongoing Best Team series. That's pretty much it for this video, thanks for watching. DFuego, signing out.